Hi all, and welcome to a quick video on how to do plots and tables for ANOVA. So first I have the sample APA stats tables 2020 that I sent you all via email. And here we have the means table, and I have the output from our homework. And so you would just simply copy this over and let me see if I can get in here. I might even try it this way where I select that and come over here and select all of these and hit paste. So that's not going to work. So then actually I would just type them in, or I could even look at another paste option. There we go. That one seems to work. Now the font's different, so I would obviously select it all and do the other one. Here I'm going to copy this, paste, and see that doesn't work that way. You do need to select all of these columns. There we go. Now together they're all centered, but I'm going to change the font to match Times New Roman. I think this is 12. Yes, I'm going to make this 12. It is centered. Okay. Now this is italicized and appropriate and correct. And here I'm just going to back this up and make it 2 decimal points, rounding. And then let's see, 3, 8. All right, so that would be how you would do your means table. Okay, then next we're going to do the ANOVA table. And so in your output, you scroll down to this test of between subjects effect. And remember from class I talked about, we're just going to read this department line. And notice it doesn't ask for everything. It doesn't ask for the sum of squares. But I am going to add a column here for partial eta squared. And I'm just going to right click, insert column to the right. And I want to get that partial eta squared, which I'll get from the notes. But you can see this is not centered the way this is. So I'm going to try this first. I'm going to try using the format painter where I just, that didn't work. So then I'm going to right click and I know where to do this in Excel, but I'm struggling right here. But I need to center it halfway between, and it could be that there's a, oh, you know what? It's, I'm not sure if it's, I can fix it this way, but here's where you can, no, that's not right. Here's where you can see it lining up. You know, whether it's lining up like the rest of your table and whether it's going to look good. So let me just see. I think I'm going to need to open this up all the way so I can see my options. Let's see, table properties. And so here I'm just going to put center, oh, the table, not the table, sorry, but this column, the cell, that's it. So go to the cell and hit the center. Okay, and you can see that's lined up, but it's still to the left. So now I'm going to center it that way. Now it lines up. And it also shows you that these two are going to be a different font. Okay, so let me go back. You take this line department, and our first thing is the degrees of freedom, which is 4. I'm not going to copy and paste this over. The mean square is 172.44. The F is 3.02. And the p-value is 0.02. And the partial eta is 0.12. Okay, and I'm going to change this between groups to say department, because that is the effect that it has. And then the within groups is error. So you could use within groups or you could use error, doesn't matter. My degrees of freedom is 90. My mean square is 57.15. Now, you leave these blank. And again, if I turn off this paragraph here, all that goes away and it shows you what it looks like. But this helps me make sure that I'm centered and lined up. So you just leave all this blank. And then total, I'm just going to come down here and put 95 for my degrees of freedom, and that's it. And that's what that table should look like. And you just need to get the partial eta square here. And you can copy and paste that from the notes. I don't believe I have that up. Okay, so the last thing that I was going to show you is how to make an ANOVA plot. So I'm going to go to Analyze, General Linear Model, Univariate. And this is our ANOVA, our other homework up. Let me see, let me get the right data set up. Okay, let me try this. Analyze, General Linear Model, Univariate. Okay, so we have PA score and department. So I'm going to move department over here to the horizontal axis, click add, which it already was there, and hit continue. And that is going to give me a nice graph. Okay, and so that is how to do your tables and your plot or graph for ANOVA. Thanks, and hope you all are safe and having a good evening.